So this is her. And
Yo,
Whoa.
yeah,
She
standing on
looks like she's
business type
15
shit.
still.
Yeah, she looked like a little baby,
she's
bro.
shaky. Like I said, she's shaky. That girl is not going
Yeah,
to
she's
cross you.
scared.
Like you go up to her and she's like,
We
"Hey."
sit down for an exclusive no-holds-barred interview with Kat, a former Ohio inmate who knows the women's prison system from the inside. Kat reveals what it was really like being locked up with teen killer MACKENZIE SHIRILLA, from losing her urban talk and adopting a polished customer service voice, to messy relationships behind bars, including fights over the studs. Kat spills on MACKENZIE's behind-the-scenes hustle, her standing with other inmates, and even weighs in on the biggest question of all. Did MACKENZIE do it on purpose?
YouTube Streets Podcast, man. New Age Plug. You did it again. You already know what it is. Ronnie Blue Eyes, what up? Pino, what up? We in this bitch.
What's going
Yeah.
on with you?
All right, man. We got an exclusive interview. This is Kat. Now we on our last video we showed her doing showed her TikTok. Her TikTok is Bougie Behind Bars, and she basically was locked up with MACKENZIE. But before we get to MACKENZIE, we're gonna get to her story. So
Yep.
tell the world who you are.
So I'm Kat. I'm 26. I live in Tennessee and I just got out of prison not too long ago. I went to prison in Ohio for a high-speed chase. Some bullshit. Took him from, you know, through 4 counties. They ended sentenced me to 18 months. Before that, though, I was in jail in Nashville fighting a case for 14 to 15 months. Just it's a long story, but just some more bullshit from when I was on the bullshit, and got extradited to Ohio to serve my prison sentence. And I was in there with MACKENZIE. Had conversations with her, got to experience her up close and personal, after the verdict and everything. So it's been pretty interesting.
So how
Wow.
did you so what is the crime that you committed to get locked up?
So in Ohio, they call it something like way extra. It's called failure to comply with police signal or order. It's essentially fleeing and eluding. They just throw a fancier name on it, I guess. I had that and then obstruction of justice. They dismissed the obstruction of justice. Now in Nashville, I had like an aggravated burglary, some theft charges, identity theft, just from
Dang,
being.
so you were at the shits, you were hitting some licks.
I say like the first time I ever got locked up was probably like 18, and that was in Alabama, just stealing cars and shit with people. But obviously, that shit takes a minute before it catches up with you. So definitely, like at the age of probably 15, I would say I what they call jumped off the porch a little bit. You feel me? And that's
Mm.
when I started
Right.
smoking weed, hanging out. I got more of a thrill from hanging around the bad boys and the bad
Right.
girls.
Speaking
Right,
of
right.
fancy names, I like that. I like the name Bougie Behind Bars. I fucks with
Thank
it.
you. I
Of
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And
course.
as far as so, what your first time going to jail or experiencing jail was what, 15 years old?
No, so I managed to stay out of juvenile. I literally, okay, I said I wasn't gonna say literally or like, but I
You're good. Don't worry, don't read the comments.
I went to jail my first time at 18, and that was for stealing a car with some people. I was just in them. I was driving the car when they got pulled over. So I'm the one that took the fall for it. It was like receiving stolen property. I was 18 years old, didn't know shit about jail. I had this mindset. Like, I grew up in the suburbs. I'm the only one in my family that has ever been to jail, has ever
Right.
gotten in trouble. You feel me? Like, my mom, my dad, they had addiction issues. So, like, it was kind of weird because it looked one way because my grandparents practically raised me. So, in one aspect, like, I had the, like, cookie cutter perfect, but then my mom and my dad were fucking off. So, I went to jail there. I didn't know shit about it. My family didn't know shit about it. They were not finna bond me out. They were not going to. I called them. Didn't know what a bond was. Didn't know what a bail was. Didn't know what a bond.
Yeah.
Stole a car in jail. How did you feel about this when you landed in jail for the first time? You said you took the fall for everybody that was in the car with you. You ended up taking the Grand Theft Auto. When you landed behind that jail bars, you said you were new to this, your parents were new to this. What was it like for you?
I think it
What were
was
you?
receiving stolen property, but yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
just be
ask the same question.
Okay,
so
receiving stolen property.
like for me at that point, all I had ever known is like TV shows, movies that you know, make prison. There's like a big difference between men and women's prison and jail, which
Yeah,
obviously we can touch on later. But all I know is like I'm finna be bunked up with Big Bertha, fighting for my life,
yeah.
and I'm like terrified. I'm crying on the phone, begging someone to bond me out. I end up like essentially somehow finessing the bondsman to come and get me. I made up some whole story. My bond was only like $500. So they were like, okay, we're gonna come and get me. They call me to the front and they're like, you made bond, but you have a hold. And
Mm,
I'm like, a hold? I don't even know what that means. Like, am I leaving or no? And it was in Tennessee for where the car was reported stolen.
mm,
So I had to sit
Okay.
in there. With it being my first charge in Alabama, they do like a pretrial divergent, like youthful offender status. So they dropped it down. They gave me like 2 years unsupervised probation, and it got wiped off my record. Then I
mm,
got extradited to Tennessee, and they dismissed it because I'd already pled to it in Alabama. But it was like, I mean, for your first time ever going to jail, having to do the whole extradition process, like, and that was just wild. I was definitely like terrified, not knowing one of my bunkie was almost like a Big Bertha. Um, she was in there on a capital murder charge, and I'm talking about big girl. I'm sitting there like, don't know how to play spades, don't know how to do shit, and she's like, "Yo, so what are you in here for?" Because I was in the felony pod. They separated it by felonies and misdemeanors.
Right.
Um, and I'm like, she's like, "Oh, I'm in here for capital murder." But I didn't do it. My boyfriend, I was in the back seat when my boyfriend turned around and shot this girl in the head, and her brain splattered all over me.
That's
damn.
Oh
crazy.
my
I
gosh.
And
didn't
I'm
do it.
sitting there like 18 years old, like on the phone with my mom, like, "You have to come get me."
I got
It
a
was like,
butch bitch in here.
this
That's
shit was wild.
crazy.
Let me ask you
So,
something. Does the women's prison do or jail, do they do a test of heart? Like what is day one like?
Um, Day one. So I'm gonna say like when they picked me up from the county, I kind of mentioned this in one of my videos. Um, the guy the transport officer that picked me up, because I was envisioning like a bus, you know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
load up. It was just a state trooper. He was like real, almost like mysterious, trying to make me like almost feel like I'm like in a fucked up movie. And he was like, "So, do you know where you're going?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you know why?" I'm like, "Yeah, woo woo woo." And it was just weird the way he went about it. And I'll never forget like pulling up to the prison gates, because I mean, county and prison's two totally different things, you know.
Hmm.
Yep.
It's like sets in. Like you're not getting out anytime. You don't have a chance of like getting found innocent. Like it's over with at that point. So I just remember screaming. But when you get there, like screaming, crying when he got out the car, because I'm like, bro, I cannot believe this is my life, dude.
how
Um,
how old were you, if you don't mind me asking, when you went to prison?
I was, let me think. I was 23 because I had my daughter. Nope, I was 20 when I first got locked up. I was 22, or was I 23? 23, and then I turned 24, 25, 26. So yeah, yeah,
Wow.
23.
And you mentioned you walked up to the gates and it was a nervous feeling, like,
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, you see nothing but like all of these women, just like a mass amount of women. I'm talking about women that some of them you'd think you're at the wrong prison. They're like, those are men. Like, no offense, you feel me, like to
No,
anyone,
fact.
because I'm cool with everyone, but it's like these are some scary looking bitches. And
Right.
I don't know. All I know, like I said, is I feel like I was kind of prepared because I'd been in county so many times with people who did go to prison. Um, and they just made it sound like, you know, what it was, but it's still like a shock. I feel like it's more of like when you're in county, you have a bond or you're still fighting your case. You think that maybe your shit can get dismissed, but once you get to those prison gates and you know you're going in, you know you're not getting out. There's no chance of getting out till that date hits, and it's just a different feel for sure.
Now, walking into that women's prison, um, Plug mentioned like a test of heart. What is it like? Because I know like in men's prison, like you said, it's totally different. In men's prison, a lot of stuff is based off of gang politics. If you have bad charges, if you're snitching. Um, I know in women's prison it's completely different. A lot of stuff is based off of relationships, like the violence and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and in men's prison, a test of heart would be something as simple as, letting you borrow food or something like that, or borrowing food
The
from
honey
you.
bun. Don't
Yeah,
take the honey bun type shit.
it's something as simple as that. But in women's prison, what would a test of heart be? What if they wanted to see if you were really, about your issue? Nobody can take your commissary, nobody can, mess with you. What do they do to push your buttons?
I mean, that's like
I don't think Ohio's like that, Pino. That's what I'm trying to think. I don't think
No.
women's prison. I don't think they even
it's
do a test of the heart.
like it's almost like in women's prison, like because I'm not gonna go too much into this. My daughter's dad, he's in prison right now. He's been in prison,
Free
so
him.
yeah, definitely free him. So I've definitely like heard a lot about men's prison, like from his personal experience.
Right.
And women's prison is nothing like that. Like there are fights, you know what I'm saying? And I want to say like as far as like maybe the closest thing, like if you go in there like you're about it, you're like the way that you're gonna show that is like how you get your money and how you move, like if you're and who you move with. I swear to God, when I say like in my videos it's like high school, it is like high school in the streets. Like, you got people selling subs and K2, like things like that in there. And if you're fucking with somebody who sells it and shit gets hot and they ask you to hold it type shit, if you're gonna hold it for them, like that's gonna make you a real bitch.
Right.
Or if you
K-Fog.
got if
Hold
you got
down this.
yeah, if you got money coming in and people are fucking with you or you've got clout, like you've been there before. People with multiple prison numbers that have been there, they come in there hot. Like, I feel like that's anywhere though. They already
Right.
Yeah.
know people, they got connections, they got a way in. They're going to already automatically have enough respect. So, like, for me, going into a prison where I don't even know one single person in the entire state of Ohio
That's crazy.
was nuts. That was the first time my feet, like, when I got extradited back up there, was the first time my feet had ever actually been like on Ohio soil because
Dang.
I was just passing through. I made it out of
That's
Ohio when I
crazy.
caught my case. So,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So how many days were you locked up until you finally met Mackenzie?
So, we do like admissions, we call it MCC there. And it's usually like 30 to 45 days. I popped out into GP about right at like 30 days, 28, 30 days. And she was, like I said, the first person off the rip. People were like, don't you know why she's here? Like, haven't you heard? Like, and she naturally like draws your attention anyway,
Yeah.
especially in a setting like that, because she doesn't look like she'd be there. She looks like
Right.
a college student or like a sorority girl. Like, it's
Little
just
girl type
crazy.
shit.
And I told you she had full beat. Her hair was done, edges laid every day, like different outfits, the nicest shoes. And you would just automatically, and I feel like that was for anyone that popped out, you would see her. Now, as far as like actually like having a conversation with her, I would say probably like a month or so in, just because it was basically like someone that I knew her that introduced me to her type shit. So I would
Right.
say like a month and a half.
And do they have cell phones inside women's prison?
Fuck no. And let me tell you why. Women are so different from men in the sense that men have like at least some sense of like being able to shut the fuck when it comes to like sticking together
Right.
and trying to get shit for like the better good. Like, you see all the time like men in prison, like if the trays are fucked up, then nobody's eating. Or if they're trying to make y'all go in like early or something, then no one's going in. Like women don't
Yeah.
stick together. Someone's gonna fold every time. Bitches
Right.
get jealous. Bitches run their mouth, and they're going to. None of that shit ever flies. Every time a big pack touches down, let me tell you something. Right now, the CO that brought it in is gonna last maybe 3 months before somebody runs their mouth because they get jealous and let them know what's up. We don't get shit in there.
That's crazy.
Speaking about running people's mouth, as far as like you said when you seen Mackenzie, like she stood out a lot. Was she like a prison superstar in there? Like, did she have a lot of pool with a lot of different sides of the compound?
So the thing is, when I got there, Mackenzie had not even been there that long. So she kind of like stuck to herself. And I mentioned a little bit like towards the like longer I had been in there with her, she started gravitating to just the lifers.
Right.
Um, so she kind of gained even more pull, and she was around people who actually were quote unquote hard.
Actually had pull. Right.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of helped in her favor because when she first got there, um, she just like I guess talked to like the other young girls, people that were, kind of new there.
Regular
So
shit.
yeah, yeah. Um, but that shit changed pretty quick. So, but people definitely everyone knew like why she was in there. That was no question. And if you didn't know, you were gonna find out.
Are
So
there
did she
any
come off entitled like a spoiled brat?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Like when I tell you, I'm about to pull up this picture. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see it on here, but when I tell you that, yeah, I've got it. This is how
Alright.
Mackenzie, this is a picture of Mackenzie that Cheyenne is a different one, different picture that she just posted on her TikTok story tonight. And I feel
Okay.
like it gives like the perfect representation of how she was in
Let's go.
prison. So this is her. And
Yo.
Whoa.
yeah,
Standing
She
on
looks like she's
business type
15
shit.
still.
Yeah, she look like a little baby, bro. She's standing on business. She's cocky though.
is
yeah.
there
And so that right there, that's Jasmine. That's the girl Cheyenne said they were friends and they had a falling out over Juice, which Juice, the other one of the other girlfriends of Mackenzie, is out now and she found my video and messaged me. So we've got that in the works
Oh,
because
here you go. I can't wait to watch
Oh
that. That's gonna be
shit.
yeah,
great.
so you mentioned
but
Bougie.
girlfriends. You mentioned girlfriends, right? Um,
mhm.
one question in particular. How many girlfriends does Mackenzie have on the compound, and are they lifers?
So since I've gone out, I guess a lot's changed because when I was in there, it was really just Juice and Cheyenne. But I've seen comments, somebody commented on my TikTok that she had like a train ran on her.
Oh
Um
wow.
Yo.
That's from
by like
Jumpsuit.
Najee Twizza OJ. Yeah.
yeah. And so she must
OG.
be in there really like turned the fuck out now, which happens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
facts.
So, what does
um
her war daddy look like? What does Mackenzie's war daddy look like?
Oh shit.
I
Does she look like 6'3"? Does she look like Joanna Man? Who does she look
I
like?
I would say that she doesn't have a type because
I don't have no type.
yeah, because I really feel like she craves attention, bro. Like she craves
Yeah.
it so bad. So if she's getting it from anyone who slightly has a little bit of clout in the
Right.
prison, she's going. And it's kind of crazy because the interview that I did with Cheyenne on my page, she just posted a video about like a more in detail video. And I went and I like looked at the comments and somebody was like, it's weird because this is a stud. There's a lot of studs in women's
Yeah.
prison. And they commented on it and were like, you look like Davion.
Yo.
And when I
Ooh.
looked at her, I'm like, bro, she does. Like, she like looks just like him. So that's kind of like fucked up in the
That's
sense.
crazy. Yeah.
But the other girl, Juice, so if y'all know what Davion looks like, then you can kind of get like a general idea of what Cheyenne
Yeah.
looks like. Now,
Mixed.
Juice has long brown hair. She's a white girl. And she's more of like a sim, and she's skinny, like just little.
Right.
So it's kind of like she doesn't have a type. She'll just go for whatever.
That's crazy. Because we all heard about the gay for stay, but I was gonna ask about like any kind of prostitution. Because we heard about the fake IDs and shit like that on the street. So it had me thinking.
The fake IDs, what's that about? I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Okay,
She had
so
some
she
fake
was,
IDs on the
yeah,
street.
she had fake IDs, and she actually was tricking during the time of her crime. Her mom was enabling her. I don't know if
That's
you,
why I'm asking if she was tricking in there type shit.
yeah,
She
that's a
might
good
be
Mackenzie
question.
making
didn't.
money.
Mackenzie didn't need to, but Mackenzie is on.
Oh shit.
Okay. So okay, I guess we're gonna call like I like tricking within the prison. I mean, if you're probably like I bet a lot of bitches fuck with Mackenzie because she had shit and
Right.
she was gonna take care of them.
Of
But
course.
these bitches go on. There's websites, and I mean they have them for the men too, for men who are in prison. But like Gypsy Rose and like Ken
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
of her little like they all met her on these websites. And I'm telling you, like 75%, 80% of women in prison are on these sugar daddy like prison websites. And these
Oh hell
men,
yeah. You know
these
that.
yeah, these
They
men
get raunchy.
load them up. I never got on it. It's not because I didn't want to. I
Scandalous.
just felt like I wasn't in there long enough to need to.
So what you're
Right.
saying is Mackenzie has a group of fanboys that are giving her any type of dollar she wants.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Cheyenne, the girlfriend confirmed that she's on the sugar daddy sites. I wanted to try and find like her profile on there, but I wasn't able to.
Yo, she might have a whole different kind of profile in the
Right.
future. She might have a prison OnlyFans in the future. You never know. This
Right.
girl's scandalous,
L-
real
Let me
Wait a minute. I'm just
shady
kidding.
shit. You know what I
let me
Uh,
mean?
uh,
yeah. Let me ask you
Scandalous.
something, Kat.
Mhm.
So when it comes to the actual case, how do you feel about Mackenzie? Do you think she did this intentionally?
I think, I think, and first I'm gonna say like I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So I'll
Yeah, none
never
of us
know.
were in the car. None of us were in the car.
Facts. Facts.
And my heart goes out to the family. I've had some of the family reach out to me, and I just can't
Yeah.
imagine. But
Right.
as far as like my personal opinion, this is gonna be so controversial.
Hey, listen, there's 5% that say, I'll pull it up right now. We did, there's a
Our whole
thousand votes.
podcast is controversial. It's
We're
this is what we
controversial, yeah.
do. It's the
Let me see if
streets.
I have it. Yeah, right there. Look. So 5%, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of people.
There's a big part of me that feels like it is so easy to hate her and just say yes
Right.
because of the picture that, and like I don't like the girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know like it's just so hard because I've read so much different evidence on like both sides. And
Right.
maybe
Yes.
it's like hard for me to like fathom her fully, like I just can't imagine doing that. Um I can't imagine anyone doing that or being brave enough. And I think that's kind of where my like confusion comes into play because after like being around her, I don't think she would have the balls to do that shit. Um, but then I read like that she routed the see like I've seen that she planned out the mat or planned out the route,
Right.
and then I see that that's where she go or a cut through that she takes often.
She
Then I
went there
talked to
like 5 times.
Cheyenne,
Yeah. Okay.
and this is a okay because this shit makes me mad in my comments. I'm not even gonna lie.
Get him.
My like they said or Cheyenne said out of Mackenzie's mouth that she admitted that she had taken shrooms that night. She fucked up
Right.
in the video and said LSD on the part that I
Right.
posted, but
But they
she said
found shrooms in
shrooms.
the car. Right. Yeah.
Right. I've taken shrooms.
Right.
I've driven while I've been on shrooms.
Yeah.
I've seen 117 different lanes behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like bright
Facts.
light, everything was
Hell
skewed.
yeah.
Cheyenne said that Mackenzie told her that she was tripping. They got to arguing, and you're not in your right mind.
Right.
And here's the thing that makes me mad. People are like, they did a drug test. They did a drug test. They did a drug
Yeah.
test.
There was THC, marijuana, or whatever,
Yeah,
which
no
is
shrooms
just
were in her
weed.
system, but
Right.
you know,
Is
They
that we
were?
know? No,
no, no,
there was weed, but we don't know
yeah, it
Okay,
nothing
so
was,
else
here's
yet.
here's the thing. Like, and I feel like, I don't know, you don't test for shrimps. You cannot test for it. It doesn't pop
oh,
up.
good,
And I
good,
know
okay.
I know this because I used to be in drug court and I tripped shrooms the night before a drug test. It just doesn't pop up. Now, like, LSD, you have to do a spinal tap. That's not even legal in a lot of places. And I
Mm,
know I'm like kind of beating around the bush. I just want to say I don't know. I don't know.
okay.
But I do have doubt. I do think part of it was intentional, but I do have my doubts. I do.
Yeah, Google says shrooms will not typically show up in a standard 5P drug test.
Yeah, they need a more advanced test to check for certain like psychedelics and shit. You feel me?
Mm, interesting, interesting. So, a little bit off topic. I just want to ask you, I'm gonna push off Mackenzie a little bit and back into your bid.
Yeah.
What's the most violent thing you've seen in women's
Mm.
prison
I was
during your
gonna ask
bid?
the same shit. Good shit.
Um, so I don't know like about where y'all were incarcerated, but we were able to get like boxes, packages, like package program through like Walking Horse and Union and shit, where you can
Yeah.
get like food packages or like
Donations
clothes
and
and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, care package.
So yeah, so you can only get based off of like your security level, you can only get so many yada yada yada. So
Right.
people would get them in other people's names, like if they've had already gotten their
Yeah, of
papers for
course.
that time period.
Maxed
So
out.
one
You
night,
feel?
we just came back from dinner. We were doing count, and they just had let us off a lockdown, and so I was making food in the microwave and shit. And mind you, there's no air conditioning in the prison in Ohio, so all of the like windows are open 24/7. You can see straight out into the yard, and they open the yard. And maybe 5 minutes later, you just see all this. You hear like code red, all of the COs running out the door, and we're all running up to the window to see what's going on. They're shutting down the yard. This girl is straight bootstrapped up, boot stomping this girl's head in, and there was like blood from her nose. They're trying to pull her off. All the COs are going, people are watching. The girl does not get up for, I want to say, like 15, 20 minutes, like no exaggeration. Her arm was literally like twisted a direction it was not supposed to be in. And the girl was not getting up. I thought the bitch was dead. Um, so they had to drive the ambulance up onto the yard, which I've never seen any other time. Like open the gates, drive it up into the prison, put her on there and drive her out. I'm sure y'all see that shit all the time. We just
Right.
don't. Violence is not like that common. People fight, but it's like they duke it out and go about their business. This was like in broad daylight on the yard. Girl was knocked out. Girl had two huge black eyes. She had a piece of her like face was fractured, wrist broken, and it was all about a food box that this girl
Yeah.
had gotten in her name and she wasn't bringing her food out.
Mm.
So
She was
I would
bucking
say, I
on
mean,
bucking on the payment.
so that was like that girl fought her like a grown man. Now, as far as like it's mostly cat fights. Like I've never seen anyone get stabbed. I've never seen
And what are
any
most of the fights about?
bitches,
What about girlfriends, right? Most of the fights are
girlfriends.
about
Yeah.
girlfriends. Okay.
Girlfriends are dope.
And
Girlfriends are dope.
it's the same thing in Florida. I've heard the same thing from different
Yeah.
Florida prisoners who's been to women's prison in Florida. They say
Right.
that 99% of the fights are about relationships, who braided whose hair, my ex is messing with her,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
two are talking.
And that brings me right into the next point, respectfully, right? I was gonna ask you, respectfully, have you ever participated in the whole gay for stay or that ain't your style? Keep it
Ah,
real. Keep it real.
I keep it real. Look, I got you.
I know.
Great question, Ronnie. Great question.
I knew it was gonna. I knew
You
you
can
were gonna
always
hit me
plead
with
the
it.
fifth. You can always plead the
Scandalous.
fifth.
No,
Nah, she gonna get into it.
I've commented on this on some of my videos.
Okay.
So I was in, like I said, in county in Nashville for so long, and
Yeah.
for those of us who've been to county, you know how boring it is. I'm not saying men just like go. I know it's way different, but I had a little girlfriend in there. But here's
Right.
the thing, and this is why I say like gay for the sake. I am not gay.
Right. Right.
I'm not attracted to women. I was bored as
She's,
fuck.
she's like, but
And
what happened was.
yeah, but what had happened was
Right. Right. Right.
is there was so in Nashville, I was cool. Like I would have rather done all my time in county in Nashville than even go to prison at all in Ohio, just
Right.
because I was comfortable. And I hate to even say that, but I was comfortable because I knew people there.
Yeah, of course.
I'd been there for so long. I had a routine. Um, but I knew this girl, and we had mutual friends, and she pushed up onto me like a whole man. You feel me?
Oh
So
shit.
I guess
Okay.
I just like kind of got weak. But here's the thing: when it came,
Shit,
this
we
is how
ain't
I know.
mad at you.
This is how I know it's like I'm not gay for real, because when it would come time to like get serious or
Right.
do shit, I was
Right.
like not coming out of myself. I'm not doing. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Now in prison,
It was a little different. Shit hit
in
different.
prison, I had a girlfriend. I tried it. I had a girlfriend in admissions.
Okay.
When she got sent to DCI in Dayton, which is a different prison, I've never been so happy in my fucking life for somebody to get sent away from me.
Hell yeah.
This this girl, like, and I didn't do anything with her because I'm just really not into that. Like, it made me
Okay.
nervous and uncomfortable.
Right.
You feel me? Like, I would
Yeah.
kiss her and shit, but like, as far as like hit the
You don't want
bathrooms
to come out the
together,
cell and come out your shell.
yeah. Mm-mm.
I hear you.
But she was crazy. She would like yoke me up by my shirt and shit, and I'm like, oh no, I can already see how this is going, and I'm
Oh,
just
she
in
playing all
admissions.
dominant. She butch with the shit.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just in admissions, and I'm not fucking with this shit when I pop out, because I already see it's gonna cause a problem. I can't even like I'm high energy, you feel me? I like to
Right.
have a good time. So I would be goofy and I would like twerk and like do all that
Oh yeah,
shit.
yeah. That's
So
gonna cause problems. You already
yeah,
know.
she didn't like that shit. And I'm
Jealousy.
just trying
You
to
know
live
what I
my
mean?
life.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta live it. You only get one. Live it up.
For sure.
Okay,
And
so yeah, go ahead, Pino.
I was just gonna say, as far as I was gonna push back into Mackenzie. As far as Mackenzie, was she the dominant one in her relationship, or was she the one
She's a
getting
pillow
dominated?
princess.
Pillow fucking princess. And she is a trick. I'm telling you, like,
Yeah, I already know it. I'm already
and
knowing.
I guess it's so crazy because the way like the documentaries and everything portray how she was with Dominic was she was the dominant. That's hard to say. She
Right.
was the dominant one, and
Mhm.
Right.
she was the pushy one, and she was the aggressor. Girl, Mackenzie's not talking about shit. Not girl, but you know what I mean.
Right. 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 There's
Mackenzie's
always
not.
Right.
two sides to every story type shit like that. You
Yeah,
feel?
Mackenzie is the scariest, shakiest motherfucker. Like,
Mm.
she's
She's the bottom for sure, and she has the
100%.
money. She's kind of like Ian Bick, I think, in a way. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
she could pay for protection.
That's crazy. I was actually gonna say, is she in there acting tough or acting gangster at all?
No, she like skips around, like walks with her little twist, you know what I'm saying? Flips her hair. When
Right.
I say that she acts like a Regina George, like from Mean Girls in prison, and majority of the
That's
people,
crazy.
yeah, majority of the
You
people,
can't sit with us type shit.
right, majority of the people look at her and laugh because we know we're not, that's not the shit that we're on. Like, you're around like
Mm.
real, I'm not even gonna say that because that's gonna get so thrown out of
Right. 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 But
But
it's some people's home. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
yeah,
this is where they live forever.
you're around real gangsters. You're
You're a
around
guest.
people who do this shit for real. People,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Really
and
with the shits.
you just went a little delulu, and that's what happened. These people do this shit for fun. So
Yeah. For
Yeah, I want to
sure.
bring up one of your quotes real quick. You said that lifers are like the owners of the prison, and then you and people that go in and out are the Airbnb
Yeah, they're just
yeah,
like
people.
guests. The life is they own that shit. That's why they control all the politics. That's in any prison. That's
So
yeah,
everywhere.
Mackenzie was getting some type of respect amongst people that weren't lifers and the
yeah,
lifers.
yeah. I would definitely say that the longer she had been there, the more like she kind of walked around like chin up, chest out, if that makes sense. Just like
Mm.
she didn't really have shit to worry about because she was protected. Like, I feel like, and I don't know if this is everywhere, but at least where I was at, it was like an unspoken thing that there is like a certain level of respect for the lifers.
Yeah, when you got nothing to lose, it's different. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Like, you're not gonna cross someone who has been in there for 30 years, 25 years,
They plugged
and
in.
probably wants to go to the hole just to get some peace of fucking mind. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it's just different. And she was definitely like moving on up there and only really surrounding herself with the lifers.
So you was in a cell next to her at one point, right?
No, I wasn't. I was never in, I was not
Close
in the
to her.
same, yeah, I wasn't in the same dorm as her.
Okay.
So I would just see her on the yard. I spoke to her a few times and it was always about like, because, and I said this in my video, like, she's talented.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up the fact she's selling jewelry, hustling and
Yeah,
shit like
like
that.
she has a hustle and it's not like, selling dope in there. It's not
Right, right.
doing no shit like that. Like she makes shit like shit that looks like that you would buy on like Etsy or from a store like Urban Outfitters or some shit. Like the girl
Wow.
would
Interesting.
make hats and like distress them. She knew how to tailor pants. She would make like a whole bunch of people were buying like these nose rings that she would make out of like wire,
That's dope.
bracelets. I bought a couple
Crazy.
bracelets from her. She would like get you saw in that video, I don't know if you saw the video I posted of her from that she sent to Cheyenne. She like completely altered an entire outfit, like uniform to like a almost like drop waist. Like it looked like a fashion designer type shit. Like
Right.
she's talented. And so anytime I talked to her, it was really like about buying that or like what else she had.
Mm.
So she would do your
So
shoes.
there was never no drama between you and her at any point.
No, no. I was kind of just doing my time, you feel me? I wasn't really,
Hell
I
yeah.
knew what I was getting out. I didn't
Respect,
have that much.
respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep
Let
your
me
head down, mind your business, and move on. You know what I
let me
mean?
Yeah.
ask you this though: the perception that other inmates had of Mackenzie, and how did she take it in? Because technically, like if this was like like her like rap side, she'd be like, "Oh, I got two bodies." That's how I look at how she would claim it. But is that what she's doing in prison, or is she using it as like some kind of petty thing? Like, "Yo, I didn't do it on purpose."
There's like, she acts like it doesn't happen. It never happened.
Wow. The
Like,
Oh
delusion.
man,
We speak about that a lot. Okay.
yeah. Like she just, you don't hear her. She doesn't walk around like, hey, I'm a killer.
Mm,
She doesn't walk around like she is supposed to be in there. I've mentioned like in some of my videos, like she walks around like she thinks she's coming home soon,
right.
like very soon. Like she
Right.
has, she's quiet for the most part, and I mean, you see her like walking, she's laughing, like giggling, doing the whole like it's giving like young girl,
Right.
um, just completely not aware of the situation and really thinking that she's coming home. She doesn't walk around like a ghetto bitch because I've had a lot of people reach out to me that were in high school with her that were like she would fight and she would
Right.
try to like go off on the teachers and get into it with people. Never saw that side of her. It was like real deal white girl. Never heard this accent of hers in person, the whole
on the
hood type.
calls,
Yeah, never heard that. It was very much like a suburban
customer
white girl.
service. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So she's kind of grown into the role. It's almost like she's getting institutionalized already, and then maybe is she respecting other inmates? That's my question, because like she just seems like somebody that doesn't respect anything.
She's
Mm,
shaky. Like I said, she's shaky. That girl is not going
yeah,
to
she's
cross you.
scared.
Like you go up to her and she's like, "Hey," like like she's not about shit. She's not about action. She's not about none of that. She's trying, like she is feeding off of the fact that people know who she is because she likes attention, but
Yeah.
she wants to paint an image. She doesn't want to back anything up. So if it comes down to it, she's gonna get someone else to take care of it before she takes care of it.
Facts. That clout's a new drug, you know
Ooh.
what I mean?
So the judge said that she'll never come out. Now, do you think that's true? Or do you think one write-up will ruin her whole everything? Because I heard you talk about that too. You're saying that the parole board is going to have you'd believe that Mackenzie would have a hard time. Like she's got to do programs, all this
Yeah, because
stuff.
the family of the victims, that's a great point. The
Mm-hmm.
victims' families, and rest in peace to the victims, condolences to the families, but they're going to pop up. They're going to say their piece
For
and
sure.
make it as hot as possible.
She's not. And I can say this like with full faith. That girl is
Mm,
not getting parole on her first time.
right.
And
They
I
never
know,
get you on the first one
fuck
anyway.
no. If you're in there on a violent charge, you're not getting parole on your first on
Especially
a
in M beef, yeah.
you're not getting parole. Like I think these people, and I will argue like to the bone with these people in the comments because they just think that they know. And I'm sitting here saying to these people, I was in there in this prison with her, with other people going up for parole
Right.
for lesser stuff, for things that weren't that people that didn't get in trouble, that didn't get parole on the first time. She's not going to do it. People think that her age is going to take into a factor. And I do want to clarify this because I did not know this. So since she committed her crime when she was 17, I guess they can only flop her 5 years.
Okay.
Really?
So that changes things for a little bit. But the way that she's acting is going to play a huge factor.
Mm-hmm.
She was not in any classes. She worked in CFS when I was there.
She was
She
trying
Did
to
you
worked.
earn
see
no
it?
good time.
Did you see any medical issues? Because she keep the appeal brings up this POTS.
No.
She said, "Boy, stop."
And here's the thing. See, this is why I go so back and forth because the more I talk about it, like things like this, I'm like, oh yeah, she did it on purpose. 100%. 100%. They say that she had seizures.
Yes.
Okay? So she had a seizure. Say she had a seizure, and that's what caused her to wreck.
Hmm.
She was seen driving as like maybe like 3 weeks after.
Yeah, she
So,
told the driver license plate she had no conditions.
yeah. So I don't know about y'all, but say I didn't even have a seizure and I wrecked my car into a building and killed 2 people. I'm not going to just be comfortable with just driving right after that. Now, if I had a medical issue that caused me to get into a wreck like that, I'm going to be living at the doctor's office until I figure out and get completely cleared to ever drive again. So that just shows like that's just bullshit. Her having a medical condition is just bullshit. And Free
Right.
Mackenzie Shirilla is her fucking mom.
Yes. Yes,
That was the
facts.
comment on that. And
What
I've
about the
blocked her
dad?
every
The
time.
dad get doesn't he seems like he doesn't get any blowback too because the mom just talks diarrhea out the mouth. But where was her dad? Like it's important that a father would step up and make sure your daughter's not tricking, driving
Right.
recklessly, and all this shit.
I feel like her dad's probably just like an ATM to her
Mm.
and the mom.
He
Big
hustles.
facts. I said the same shit. Scandalous shit.
Yeah. I feel like it's just about money.
Now
Mm.
let's get to your last days in prison. So how did that feel? Like you walking out of them damn gates?
Oh my God. I have been locked up so many times where when I get to the out date, I have like a hold pop up or something. So I was so nervous that something was going to pop up to fuck it up. And I don't know if that's like normal or if it's just me. Um, but it was like I couldn't really believe it until the day got there. I knew I was going to a halfway house. So I went to a halfway house. In Ohio, you have to transition into a halfway house, like regardless. There's no option. You cannot deny
Right.
transitional control. You have to go.
Part of the process.
Yeah. So I was really getting prepared for this. I was talking to other people like who had been in
Yeah.
Toledo because I had never been to Toledo. Now I'm gonna go live there for a few months.
Right. Of
Um, and I had heard nothing but horror stories. And I
course.
was just basically like, I know I was still gonna be kind of like restricted. So my like release is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was still gonna have rules, but I was gonna have a phone. And
Right.
my biggest thing when I got locked up was my daughter was 5 weeks old. Um, so I
That's tough.
had, yeah, so I hadn't been able to really like see her other than through pictures and
Right.
on the phone, like listen to her. So
Right.
I was so excited to just be able to FaceTime her, and see how she's grown and stuff because she's almost 3 now. So she's like a completely different, like real kid now. She's not a baby. When I left, she was like a potato. So that's all I could think about when I was about to get out those last few
Of
days and just,
course.
yeah.
Family first.
Maybe if Mackenzie had a baby, she would have because I when I had my first child too, I changed. I stopped doing cocaine. I put down the white,
Facts.
and I
Yeah.
Stop
felt like
hustling.
we changed for our children, and then maybe
A
that would have
hundred
100%.
saved her
percent.
life.
100%. I'm telling you right now, if I would not have had my daughter
Yeah.
to come home to, I would either already have a warrant or I would have been strung out or doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that was my saving grace. And I do think that everything happened for a reason. And I hate that I missed those first couple of years of her life because
Yeah.
I missed that. You know what I'm saying? She didn't know
Sure.
what was going on. So I feel like if it was going to happen, because I was pregnant, I mean, I had warrants my entire pregnancy. I knew it was going to eventually happen. And it's almost like the world let me have that, little bonding period when she was an infant and put me to go handle my shit at a time where like she was young enough not even know what was
And
going
try to
on.
get back in time to where you'll be able to bond with the,
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's good, man. It sounds like you're reformed. And that's always, I love hearing that because we have a lot of people on YouTube that are not, that have still have a foot into the game. And I actually
Yeah.
call Pino out on this. I think
She a
Pino has a
work in
foot in still.
progress, man. She was
But
ready to crash out over a vape. No, I'm kidding. She
that's
a
every
work in
woman, though.
progress, but God bless. You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you. Yeah, I mean, I had a really hard time finding a job because I have those theft and the identity theft charges. I swear to God, you have an easier time finding charges or finding a job with almost a violent felony than theft charges. Nobody wants to let you work around money, or
If they
I,
think you're gonna steal it, yeah.
I couldn't even get a fucking job at the Circle K. I would get offered jobs and then they would revoke them when the background check came around.
Mm.
Like, it was so disheartening. I finally was able to get like a serving job, which is what I was normally doing, but Tennessee makes you get a server permit that felons aren't supposed to get. But I was able to go back and forth and show them like certificates and shit, and they finally gave it to me. And then today I just enrolled in cosmetology school, so I'll be going to school to get my license to do hair.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
And
what's
then
up.
your side hustle and your hobby should be definitely social media because if you could see just like look at Mackenzie. She doesn't have no talents. She's
But
big
she
because
lives
of something of a decision she decided to
of a
make that
tragedy.
ruined her
Yeah.
life, a tragedy,
Yeah.
right? You're
Triumphant off a tragedy.
you have the opportunity to take everything that you learned in prison and life in general, motherhood, and make a wonderful social media. I think you're going to do good. I
Facts.
think that's what
Thank
you,
you.
yeah,
That's the
prison.
goal.
Yeah, we okay. So women that right now, little jitterbugs and girls that are going to prison, they need to know what they're going into.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. That's kind of why, like, I try to like stress. I make funny videos, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to keep it like lighthearted, and that kind of
Yeah.
like ruffles some feathers. But I do like try to throw in there every now and then, like why I'm making the videos, or that I'm not glorifying it.
Right, right.
That I hope that it can reach somebody, because I swear to God, it's such a domino effect, butterfly effect, whatever you want to call it. It takes one person, meeting one person that introduces you to something, or one split second that causes you to do something that will fuck up the rest of your life. And this shit is not
Facts.
easy after like becoming a felon. You don't realize till it actually happens. You know what I'm saying? Like how hard it is to just live a normal life.
Right. Being locked up with her, was there ever a point in time where you felt like she could be potentially take another life?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. And I'm just gonna have to say no again. That's like I said, I just don't even see how she did it the first time. Just knowing
Hmm.
her or being around her. She just doesn't
Right.
seem ballsy enough. Like she just seems like a
Well,
wannabe.
fear can make you do some crazy shit too in despair. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. She just to me just seems like she's like a wannabe Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, she's scary with it.
Yeah. And I don't think you would ever see like Kylie Jenner. I mean, I don't know though. I just posted a video about a girl that looked like the most innocent, like so like, and she was in there for some fucked up shit. It's always the ones that you think wouldn't be in there.
Yeah, you never know. You
So
know?
when
Yeah.
so when Pino was locked up, he used to make reusable fifis, right? Now
Man,
Yeah.
what?
with the
Yo,
women, but with
bro,
the
El
women,
Plaga.
Man,
no,
hell
listen,
no.
I know what you're
nah,
about to ask.
Fuck
yeah,
about to
yeah,
ask
yeah,
about
yeah,
cucumbers and shit.
yeah, yeah. Ask it, Ronnie, so I don't get in trouble by wifey. Go
Nah,
ahead.
nah, nah, nah. She already know, bro.
Okay, so yes, and I have a story about that I'll just say real fast because I talk
Shit.
too much. Um, they do make the strap-ons. See, here I go whispering it. They make the strap-ons.
Yeah, straight
Um,
up. Scary.
and it's
Scary.
a whole ordeal. People make them, people sell them. You can change the sizes. You can basically it's a sports bra that they turn upside down. So the
Right.
parts where you would put your hands on, that's where your legs go. They take like rubber gloves, a toothbrush holder, ace bandage.
Wrap that shit up real tight.
Yeah, latex glove, and they strap up and do what they do. Now, they did that in county too, and oh my god, I swear to God, I get nightmares about this shit. There were two girls in my cell. I was in an 8-man cell, so there was like 8 of us in there. There was 2 girls that were fucking with each other. I was on a bottom bunk. They put their mats on the floor together, and they would, get busy right beside me while I'm just
Right.
like trying to watch my tablet or act like it's not happening. Now they made one. We got shook down probably the next day after all that happened, and the COs found,
Oh
and they
shit.
walked out with it. And everybody was like, "Oh, bro," because that shit doesn't happen in county
Yeah.
as much as it does prison. But yeah, so we were known as like the dildo room for
Yo, yeah, you're
quite
like, I
some
hope they
time.
don't think that's my shit.
Right? I was like, they better not. They.
Serious.
Hey, for the record, I ain't never made no reusable fifis, bro.
It's okay. She's living your truth.
I love how he was so specific and said reusable. I ain't
Yeah,
never
no.
made no reusable.
Hey, I've made a
He
fifi.
was
I ain't never made no
specific.
reusable fifi.
Wait, so do men really do that? Because I be wondering if.
Whoa.
Yeah. They make fifis. They make pocket pussies and all that shit. I mean,
Oh my
it
god.
Ew.
depends. It depends what state you in, like, and it depends on the prison, like, because you could be at a prison that's
D-
flooded with phones, and if it's flooded with phones, then you can get you a pocket pussy. You can pay for a pocket pussy. You can get you a real one in the on the compound, a little pocket pussy. You can buy you a real one. I actually got a video right now of somebody showing that they got a pocket pussy in prison.
Oh my god.
Crazy
I
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I have so many men like out of nowhere will add me on
Many man.
Facebook that are in prison, and I'm like, bro, if I would have had a phone while I was in prison, I would have been cool. You feel me? Like lay down my time. I don't need to go no halfway house. I don't.
Right.
But we don't get that shit.
I wonder why. So, what do you think that is, Pino? Like, is the COs not? They don't trust the women inmates. The whole like, are they not? What do you think it is?
It depends on the prison because I know some women in Georgia prison right now that got phones, but it just depends on the prison and how much shit swinging in the prison, bro. Really, you know what I mean? The area you're at, you get put at a prison in North Florida and it don't be shit on the compound but K2 and cigarettes, and then you can go to a prison in Central Florida and it's 40 phones on the compound. It's dope
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's what. Yeah, so there's 3 prisons in Ohio. And Marysville, Ohio Reformatory is like the main compound, but it's like
Okay.
medium security.
Right, right.
Then you have Northeast, which is in Cleveland, and
Yeah,
that's like pre-release. Like
yeah.
they go to work outside of the prison, so they're laid back.
Yeah.
Now, DCI in Dayton, from what I hear, is it goes down. Like it's probably a
Oh,
totally different vibe. People, that's where Max is. That's where you go if you're level 3,
Right.
STG, like all that.
Mackenzie might be there one day.
They say that a lot of people are saying that they think that she is there now. But I looked her up. No, she's not there now. She's going to be on her way because if she gets leveled up, she'll go there. She will go there.
Mm.
And they're in cells. They're in 2-man cells. Like in the prison I was in, we're in a giant open bay with like dividers. So it's a totally people fall into the cell. They, do get out, do what they do, and
Are they
it's
gang
not
banging in Ohio? They gang banging in women's Ohio prison?
not
Crip
really,
blood?
not really. There was some blood, but it's not like men's. Now, probably Dayton, probably DCI, but not where I was at. No,
Mackenzie wasn't wearing no certain color, was she?
fuck no,
She ain't
fuck
with the
no,
shits. She said, fuck no, she ain't with the shits.
not at all, not at all.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. This was a great interview. We got to get you back on again.
Yeah,
I
Facts.
for
feel like
sure.
we missed a lot. Like you had a Florida experience, so we forgot to talk about too. Uh, but yeah, we got to get you back on because listen, you're like
Hot
I'm
too.
going to you for, just on top of you being locked up with Mackenzie, you're actually the source that we're all going to. Like you obviously have the information, you have the inmates that she was locked up with, their girlfriends. So we're all the eyes are on you right now. So we're definitely gonna have you back.
For sure, I would love to. It's been super cool. Y'all have all been great.
Salute.
Definitely
Thank you.
salute.
We appreciate you pulling up to the YouTube streets. We riding
No
with you.
problem. No problem.